Movies in 2021 have seen a massive improvement from last year. The movies that were pushed back finally came out and cinema is slowly getting its momentum back. And with that, I thought I'll also get back to listing my favorite movies of the year. But just to be clear, before I get started, this is in no way meant to be objective. This is simply my list and mine alone. If you have a different one, do not hesitate to share, as that is the purpose of these lists. Exchange and even debate if we have to. So without further ado, here are my top 10 best movies of 2021. At number 10, it's all about brawls and gunfights. It's all about who can outgun, outpunch or outsmart their opponents. We are talking about a movie like The Kingsman, Cop Shop, Nobody, or one of my favorites of the year, Rife of Men. But for my number 10 pick, I had to go with the final installment of Daniel Craig's James Bond era, No Time to Die. No Time to Die may not be the best James Bond movie Daniel Craig made. Casino Royale and Skyfall are way better. However, it managed to give the character and the actor a proper send-off. In a movie that was as focused on Bond's emotional journey than it was on setting up action sequences. I appreciated that. For the next one, I was looking at animation. It was a pretty disappointing year for me in terms of animation. For example, my most anticipated animated movie was Raya and the Last Dragon, and that ended up not being as good as I thought it would be. But then Pixar released my favorite animated movie, not just of the year, but one of my favorites ever, and that is Luca.
What's wrong with you, stupido?
I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli films such as My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Ponyo. Movies that are just about people's lives. Movies that rely more on the atmosphere than gigantic stakes. Luca gave me those vibes. The characters were fantastic, the story was amazing, and it is my number 9 pick. For number 8, I was looking for a sci-fi movie, something that feels futuristic and progressive at the same time. There has been a few sci-fi movies this year, such as Outside the Wire, but that was a terrible movie. So my choice was between Dune and my number 8 pick, Matrix Resurrections. A lot of people seem to be mad at this movie, and it's sad because most seem to have completely missed the point of it. It's an incredible subversion of today's audience's expectations, a weird and thought-provoking film that continues the legacy of the franchise brilliantly. I will have a complete review for it soon, so I don't want to talk about it that much, but I take this over Dune on the simple fact that it is at least a complete movie. Sue me. At number 7, I had to make a choice of my favorite musical of the year. It could have been West Side Story, or maybe In the Heights, but it ended up being Tick Tick Boom.
Hello. Hi. Welcome.
Starring Andrew Garfield and directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Tick Tick Boom completely took me by surprise. The music was captivating, the performances were incredible, and Andrew Garfield absolutely owned this role. A role that looked like something out of his comfort zone, and I wouldn't be surprised if he lands a Best Actor nomination at the Oscars with this. Now it's time to pick the guys in spandex, the ones who are going to save the world from evil. 2021 was a year filled with superhero movies, from Shang-Chi, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the mind-blowing Spider-Man No Way Home. But my personal pick for this list is not other than James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In a world where every year we get at least 6 superhero movies, it is important to have movies with a clear vision and a voice. A movie that feels like the director loves and understands this world is building or expanding. and the Suicide Squad did it for me. It didn't just give me lots of fun and laughter, it gave me villains I cared about. Characters I didn't give a damn about at the beginning that I ended up loving by the end of the movie. There was no superhero movie I enjoyed more than The Suicide Squad in 2021. For this one, I'm looking at performances that impressed me just as much as the movie itself. I'm thinking Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, Emma Stone in Cruella, Will Smith in King Richard, Joaquin Phoenix in Come On, Lady Gaga in House of Gucci, Jared Leto in The Little Things, or my fifth pick for this list, Kristen Stewart in Spencer. I was honestly blown away by Kristen Stewart in this movie. I already know she's an incredible actress. I'm not like one of those guys who cannot let go of those awful Twilight movies. If Kristen Stewart doesn't convince you with this performance, then she never will. The movie itself is also absolutely fantastic, dealing with trauma, sadness, and depression, using the life of Diana Spencer as a blueprint to a grander message. I dug it! Now I'm looking at the best horror movie of the year, the one that scarred me for life, the one that hurt my brain, my eyes, and my soul. I watched a couple of great horror movies this year. Last Night in Soho was incredible, The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It was fun, A Quiet Place 2 was intriguing, Malignant was the most bizarre movie I've ever seen and I loved it. However, I will have to go with Titan as my favorite horror movie of the year and my number 4 pick for this list. The movie was haunting, emotionally devastating, and full of metaphors. Julia Ducournau went absolutely crazy with this movie, and after Raw and this one, I'm incredibly excited to see what weird and messed up story she comes up with next. For my third favorite movie of the year, I decided to go with a period piece. A movie adapted from a book, a tale, or a public domain. I'm talking movies such as The Tragedy of Macbeth, Green Knight, or my personal favorite and my number 3 pick, The Last Duel. Ridley Scott has proven himself to still be in the game with one of his best work ever. This tale of a man challenging his wife's rapist into a battle to the death was one of the best times I've had watching a movie this year. The final showdown alone had me on the edge of my seat with some incredible camera work and amazing performances from Matt Damon and Adam Driver. However, the real star of this film is definitely Jodie Comer. She carried the entire thing for me, and I hope to see her in more movies in the years to come. Overall, I enjoyed everything about The Last Duel. The direction, the story, Ben Affleck's hilarious look, all of it. And I cannot wait to watch it 100 more times. Number 2, I'm looking for an artistic movie. A movie where you can hear the director whisper in your ear. They let their style do the talking and the artistic vision is louder than ever. A movie like Kenneth Branagh's Belfast comes to mind, or Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch. But for my number 2 pick, I will go with Céline Sciamma's Petite Maman. Petite Maman is another Céline Sciamma's masterpiece. She may not be the most flashy movie director out there, but if you have seen her most recent entries, this movie just confirms what is clearly becoming a distinct style for her. She just loves intimacy and uses her filmmaking skills to invite the audience within those intimate stories she likes telling so much. And with Petite Maman, it is through the innocence of a child who misses her mother that she creates quiet moments that let her pay off as emotional setups for an incredible journey. Petite Maman is a movie everyone should see and appreciate as the true masterpiece it is. For my favorite movie of the year, I wanted a movie that taught me something about an event that actually happened, while giving me some tense scenes that kept me on the edge of my seat. A movie that had some solid cinematography, great camera angles, shot compositions, costumes, but also a movie that has some of the best performances I'd seen all year. In other words, I wanted a movie that did everything right in my eyes. And while I wasn't able to find that perfect movie, one movie came really close to perfection, and that is Judas and the Black Messiah. This movie came out during Black History Month, which was in February. I have seen a lot of top 10 lists online this week, and nearly none of them had this movie because most people seem to have forgotten about it. But to me, Judas and the Black Messiah did everything right. Daniel Kaluuya gave what I consider to be his best performance ever, and is also supported by an incredible cast with some standout performances by Jesse Plemons and Lakeith Stanfield. This movie about an FBI informant, William O'Neill, who infiltrates the Black Panther movement to gather intelligence for the government, surpassed my expectations and should be in every conversation of the best movies of the year because it is truly remarkable. And it is my favorite movie of 2021. So that's it. That's my top 10 best movies of the year. I already know a couple of choices here are kinda controversial, but that is the beauty of movies. We don't have to agree, but we definitely can debate. So if you can, drop your own top 10 list below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year to you all and take care. Bye bye.